Greetings, everyone. Happy Sunday. We're going to get started here in just 1 minute. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hopefully everybody watched Frank's stream last hour. Thanks for coming over.
Here's a real quick message from my friends at Bridgecom Systems. If you're a ham looking to get into DMR, you need to go check out their plug-and-play package, link in the description. It's a handheld DMR radio and digital hotspot combo that comes pre-programmed with all of your information so that all you have to do to get on the air is just turn it on and press the PTT button. You'll also get access to their beginner to expert courses about your DMR gear through Bridgecom University. Give them a call at 816-532-8451 to talk with their dedicated in-house radio advisors. They are happy to help you out. Thank you, Bridgecom, for supporting this channel.
Transition. No, that's not the right transition. There's the right transition right there. Hey, where's the transition here, guys? Oh, my goodness. There. If the transition button in OBS would work, then it would be a lot smoother. That would have gone a lot smoother. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining tonight. Ham Radio 2.0 Sunday night live stream. We are back. And I didn't live stream last week. Where was I? Oh, I was Labor Day was last weekend. And we were down at the coast in Galveston. I activated Galveston Island State Park 3 times. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That was fun. That spark plug gear antenna, the InFed half wave at sparkpluggear.com. Wonderful antenna. I got the 100-watt version. He makes a QRP version too. Wonderful antenna. Got some really good signal reports. The first day I activated from my truck because it was raining outside and was on a ham stick. Very compromised antenna. Made about 25 contacts. But the second and third day that I activated, I used the spark plug antenna. It was a very nice weather outside. And I made 96 contacts the first day and 104 the second day. So it was got really good signal reports. You know, the FTDX10's a fantastic radio, and had a lot of fun with that. So hopefully we'll be going back to Galveston next month, sometime in October. And we're looking forward to hitting that up again. So some of you have asked about the giveaway for this month. And it is, I put the link up the other day. It is right here. And I will share that link here. I should have had it handy, but I don't. There it is right there. Okay. So hr2.li/new Yaesu radio. We're going to be giving away an FT710. Brand new from Yaesu. It's not even freaking out yet. So I've already got one of those on order from Roger at rnl.com. He's like, hey, I think he said I was like the third person to ask. So he's got a waiting list going. And as soon as he gets them, he's going to ship it to me. John Crook was on the happy hour 2 days ago on this channel, and he's like, I think you guys are going to be really impressed with that radio. So I'm like, okay. That FTDX10 is a freaking awesome rig, so hopefully the 710 lives up to that standard. But we'll see. So I'm going to get the radio. I'm going to do some videos with it. Might do a live stream, ask John to come on, that kind of thing. And then I'm going to send it to whoever the winner is. So we're going to give that away at the end of the month. You'll probably get it sometime next month. Assuming that it actually comes out in September the way it's supposed to. So we've got that going for us right now. But yeah. Thanks for the super chat, Don. Good to see you in the chat last on Frank's channel. So, okay, let's go over here. So this next weekend, on Thursday, I fly to North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to be at the Tapper Digital Communications Conference for this year. This is the first one they've done live since COVID. I went to the ones at like 2017, 18, and 19, something like 2 or 3 years in a row. It was in Albuquerque one year. It was in Detroit one year, maybe just 2 years in a row. But anyway, been to it 2 or 3 times live. Then they canceled it for COVID. They canceled the live. They did it virtually, of course. So it's back live this time at the Hilton Airport Hotel in Charlotte. But if you go here, you can kind of look it up. If you're in the area, go check that out. Should be some really good presentations there. I'll be recording them all, posting them on this channel later. And really appreciate the guys at the Tucson Amateur Packet Radio Club for inviting me out there. It's always a fun show. Learn a lot of stuff. The guys from M17 will be there, so expect to get some interviews. I expect to get some interviews from those guys. We'll talk to those guys about their project. And then the Tapper guys themselves are working on that Tangerine SDR and personal space weather station video that I've already put up 2 or 3 videos about that on the channel, at kind of watching its progress. So we'll get the latest update on that as well. So Tucson Amateur Packet Radio, Tapper Digital Communications Conference next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where I'll be. If you guys are in the area able to attend, come by and say hello. And someone come pick me up Friday night or maybe Saturday night and take me to a park and let's do some poda. I've activated parks in North Carolina. We spent a weekend at OBX last year, so I don't need that one. But hey, you can never have too many poda parks in there. So tonight we're going to be talking about the sBitx radio. Now, Pat, poda by example, I've got him on the Zoom channel. I'm going to bring him on here in just a minute. He's the one who told me about this radio. We were talking on DMR one night, and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's this new radio out," and he told me the website, and I went and looked at it. And as he's talking, long-winded that he is, he's talking in the microphone on DMR Talk Group. I clicked buy, and as soon as he unkeyed, and I'm like, "Oh, I just bought it, dude. So thank you for spending my money." So all you who accuse me of spending your money every time I put up a shopping video, yeah, that's what he did to me. So, but it's good. It's good. We're gonna see what it looks like tonight. I got some updates to it already because I only took it out of the box like an hour and a half ago. But so we'll see what I've got, and I've learned a little bit about it already. So we'll do that. So we'll bring on Pat here real quick. What's up, man? How's it going?
What's going on? Yeah, I'm doing great. Doing great.
Good,
Thanks for having me on.
Sure thing. Yeah. I think Frank is supposed to be here, so maybe he'll join us in a minute. I don't know. But
awesome.
Yeah. So the sBitx. So you've got, I think you said you've got serial number 100.
Yep, serial number 100 on the number.
100 on the number. That's great. Mine's 103. So mine's 3 units newer or whatever than yours is. So, and Josh did a really good live stream. So there's 2 versions of this radio. There's a kit, which is not really a kit. It's more of like a project, because it's just the radio part itself. It doesn't come with the Raspberry Pi that runs it. It doesn't come with the screen or the microphone. So you can buy like the box basically and the guts of it, and you put it together. I think there's some minor soldering required in that.
No soldering.
No soldering? I was thinking that he soldered something.
No, I don't think there is.
Okay, maybe not then. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's purposely designed that way too.
Okay. Well, I remember thinking, I thought it was a kit. I'm like, it's a kit, but it doesn't come with the Raspberry. And the prices of Raspberry Pis right now is stupid.
Yeah.
If you get lucky, like KM4ACK does, he actually found some Raspberry Pis at Micro Center for $35 or $45 a pop, so the normal price. But they would only let him buy one, so he sent his wife in to buy another one for us. He's like, okay, you do. But the closest Micro Center to me is 30 minutes that way. Now you can buy Raspberry Pis right now on Amazon, but they're like $165, $170, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need one that badly. So I think it's a good to mention the price of this, because you can buy it without the Pi. If you have a Pi 4 laying around, or people have had success with Pi 3B, I think 2. Okay. You have one of those laying around. You can pick one of these radios up for $300. Yeah, it's $299 for the kit.
Yeah.
No Pi, also no screen. So
and microphone.
And screen and microphone. Now, I think Josh put his Yaesu mic on it, and it worked. So I think it's got kind of a standard microphone, although it is a 3.5 millimeter connector. I don't think I grabbed my microphone. I think it's inside. I don't have that here with me. But it's, so it's not just the Raspberry Pi. It's the screen. It's got a really big screen. Big, nice
7-inch screen. Yep.
Yeah, huge screen.
Touch screen, too.
Touch screen, yeah. So it's not a cheap screen. and then the microphone, which is probably a few bucks. So I don't know, but you can get the kit for $299, like Pat said, and then you can get the fully assembled product, which is what I've got, for $499. So it's only $200 more for the fully assembled and tested product. So that's what I bought. I didn't buy it because I didn't want to build it. I bought it because I didn't want to go buy a Raspberry Pi at today's prices, plus figure out which screen it needed. And I didn't even look up the price of the screen. I don't know. But, I mean, if you're desperate, you can find a Raspberry Pi right now for almost $200, and then you're at the price of the radio, and you still don't have a screen.
Are you
and
serious?
a microphone.
$200?
If you go look at
pretty
Amazon
expensive,
right now, you can buy a Raspberry Pi 4, I think the 4 gigabyte. Go look at Amazon right now for a Raspberry Pi 4 gigabyte, and it's like $160.
I'm taking this challenge right now.
So it's been a couple weeks since I looked at it. So it's kind of like a supply and demand thing. They just, they don't have enough.
Yeah, so I guess Ashar
Yeah.
must have a supply with him.
Maybe he bought a bunch of them way back when he started doing this. I don't know. So,
Yeah. And that's who the
you're right.
radio is by the way. It's by Ashar Farhan, and
Mhm.
a lot of people who have been in the hobby may have heard of him because he's very popular in the homebrewing community.
Mhm.
And in fact, this radio is actually open source. Like the plans are completely out there. You can go if you can make like a PCB or whatever, you could sit in your basement, garage, wherever your shack is, and make one of these radios. The plans are on his website. So
In fact, this one's called the developer version. Or the developer's edition. It says HF Signals is now selling the developer's edition for the homebrewers and hackers that are comfortable with frequent updates and experimental branches of the software. So, and then if you scroll down here a little bit, let me see. I can show. Nope, not that one. Let's switch this screen over here real quick. But yeah, I mean, you can. It's hackable, and they say it's hackable. It just means it's open source, and they open up their code, and you can do your own thing with it if you want to. So and that's pretty cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people will get a kick out of that. In fact, Frank, I was going to read you this part of it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Get this.
Sorry, I
screen
joined
up
late.
here.
Me and Scott just started talking about editing
No, you're
videos
fine.
and cameras. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
You're fine. No problem at all. But let's see. Chrome right there. Okay, so it's got resize that a little bit. So performance and simplicity. So hackable. The entire development system is on the radio and pre-configured. Start editing the code to run build to start editing the code and run build to see the changes. I don't know what run build means. No need for any.
Should say run builds.
Yeah, okay, that makes
Plural,
sense. Yeah, plural. No need external computer to hack this radio. Written in plain C language, Frank. I thought you would like that. Written in
nice.
plain C language. If you can read an Arduino code, you can code the sBitx too. So simple
Arduinos
user
can do also C++,
Yeah.
but I bet this can
Yeah.
do it too.
could be. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know the difference. I know there's C#, C++, C. I know the names of these languages, but I don't know anything about them. Simple user interface encourages you to change the layout, create your own look, feel, your own buttons, screen layouts, and macros. Intuitive approach to SDR. Understand and learn to do DSP SDRs. The sBitx's approach uses a conventional super heterodyne architecture along with the convolution SDR to build the simplest SDR architecture. So my phone thinks I'm talking to it. I never said, "Hey Google." So yeah, but anyway, so it's completely, like they say hackable. I think it's not really hackable. It's just open for you to do your own thing with, which is very similar to Flex Radio does that. They open up their API and let people do whatever the heck they want to. through
Don,
APIs.
not C++, Frank.
I guess we
Yeah,
spent
yeah.
Don's money as well. It looks like
Oh yeah,
Nice.
That's not surprising. That
I'm
Don,
spending everyone's money on
Don-
this.
Yeah, Don's one of those shiny guys. He's like, hey,
Yeah.
that looks cool.
Yeah, I think Don's the kind of person I think could do really cool stuff
Yeah.
with this. And I'm like on the just learning on like the I guess a hacking side. I got into Linux a little while ago. I'm trying to get back into
What's
it. But,
flavor?
I was using Ubuntu. I was just learning.
Good.
you
No.
know.
nothing's wrong with Ubuntu. I've used Ubuntu in several work projects. It's great and easy to spin up. It works with majority of the hardware out there. Out of the box, it's almost guaranteed to run unless you have very specific specialized equipment that is not normally supported. It's great. It's great. Nothing bad to say about it. Then you got SUSE and Red Hat and all these other different flavors that are very specialized, and Puppy Linux, and I forgot the other one for super old computers that is scaled back, and it's like
there's one called Ubuntu. There's two Xubuntu.
Xubuntu, yeah.
Xubuntu is for smaller systems. There's 2 or 3 flavors of Ubuntu. One of them is for older, smaller systems.
So all these are great. Ubuntu, I highly recommend it as a starting place for Linux.
Right. So Liberty Cave says, so you say not hackable, but can we add things like JS call? No, I say it was hackable. Hackable is kind of a weird term. It implies that you hack into it, but it's open source, so you don't have to hack into it. You just have access to it. So hackable is, in the strictest term, it's not hackable because it's not secured, because you don't have to hack it. But JS8 call, I assume if JS8 call will run on a Raspberry Pi, which I know it will, then you can probably add that to this.
It'll run, it'll run without any sort of external connection either, because a really cool feature of this is like it runs stuff like FT8 within the radio itself, because it is a computer. It's basically it's a computer in there, so you don't need any external hardware to run stuff like FT8, SSTV, PSK, none of that. And you can even do CW on it, and it will decode it just within the radio. So like you could type on a keyboard and say CQ, CQ, CQ. I mean, there's macros too, but like you could type on a keyboard and do CW on it. And I was use a key.
And I was just looking. I was looking at the macro or the decoder on it, and I'm like, if I were to tune and find a CW signal, it would probably just like the KX3 does, or I think all the Elecrafts do. It just starts. You just start seeing characters come across the screen. So
Shane
that's
has
fun.
a great a comment on that. Whiskey 5 Charlie Papa uniform, hackable in the sense of very customizable.
Yes, true. Yes. Yeah, agreed. Yep. So, So, anyway, it's so speaking of Linux, kind of a segue here. I'm going to say this. So I put this I put a poll up on the channel tonight, and I said, "Hey, I've got several things I could talk about tonight." And this was one of them. And I said, "What do you guys want to see?" And the majority was this sBitx. That's what most people wanted to see. Let me see. I'll put that up right there. So put this over here. Yeah.
Where'd you post that poll at?
On my YouTube community tab. You were talking, Frank, about your YouTube channel members. I don't want to get off on a big tangent here.
Yeah.
You were so you can post on your YouTube community tab and choose which audience sees that post. You can send a message to just your channel members.
I know that, and I did that with the last channel invite, but I just feel like when you do it through Patreon and blast it also in the email, that helps.
Patreon's more easier to send messages. That's true. Yeah.
But we're not going to retread that. Me and Scott talked like 20 minutes on that.
Yeah. We don't need to. But anyway, so my choices were the Zygu G106, which I have one of those around here somewhere, and I have a brand new one. I do not have the one that Mike found from the pile of dog poo in his front yard. But if you haven't seen Mike's video about the G106, go watch it. It's freaking hilarious. And he did a follow up to it as well.
He did a follow up.
I've got
the follow-up for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I got the G106, I got this sBitx, and I was like, I've been wanting to do another code plug update for the Anytone DMR radios. In fact, that one got the least. Well, no, the G106 and the code plug both got 15%. The sBitx got 45%, and CW training got 25%. So that was the second runner-up. So I thought that was pretty cool. People actually like seeing my bumbling through CW videos. So anyway, so I put this up there, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I broke it out. This arrived the day before I left for Galveston, and I took it with me to Galveston. I thought, maybe I'll have time to play with it, but I didn't. So I didn't really open it until about 3 or 4 hours ago, something like that. And I open it up, and I bring it out here to the shack, and I'm kind of looking through it. And those of you who saw Josh's video, you guys put a 1 in the chat if you saw Josh's video where he was putting the kit together. So those of you who saw his video.
Was that last night?
No, it was
like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. So let me move that over here. There's a big glare on this thing right now. So I can't really help the glare. So you can see the glare right here. This is it. But the screen goes to sleep after a while. There's the screen right there. And then
that's a beautiful screen.
It is. Yeah, it looks fantastic. I'm going to darken it.
Yeah, that camera doesn't even do it justice.
This is my.
It's very bright, so it's probably.
It is very bright.
Yeah.
It is very bright. So I darken it a bit right there. So that's it. So we can turn that off, and that's the screen. Now you can. It's really washed out now. That's the Raspberry Pi screen, and then you can just launch the sBitx program, and again it's touch screen, so that's really cool. And every time I launch sBitx, the FLDigiRig app launches also. So. Okay. A lot of people saw Josh's video. So you saw that he blew his finals. Well, I have to be like Josh, I guess, because I think I blew my finals.
Yeah.
So it's hooked up to my antenna right now, and you don't see a waterfall right here. But I saw when So here's what happened. About 3 hours ago, I hooked it up, plugged it in, I've got an antenna switch back there that for my IC7700. My Flex radio, my old Yaesu radio, and then an extra port that I've just got run into a coax up here that I can plug test radios into. So I plugged it in. I saw a waterfall. I tuned down to 7.074, turned it to mode CW. There's a mode that says FT8. It's right there. Let me get my pin out. Right there it says mode FT8. Okay, so I can touch the mode screen there, and I can change it by turning this knob at the top. So the first mode in the menu is two-tone. I have no idea what that is as far as HF goes. When I hear two-tone, I think about police and fire two-tone HT stuff on FM. So you've got two-tone, you've got digital, which I thought that was FT8, but it's not. And then you've got RTTY, PSK31, FT8, CWR. What is that?
CW, right? So you could hear a signal and transmit just off of it.
Okay, all right. So CWR and
a lot
CW.
Of radios have that.
A lot of okay. Regular CW, LSB, USB, of course, and that's it. So there's no AM in there. I did notice that. And there's two-tone and digital. I don't know what digital is because it's got a menu for RTTY, PSK31, and FT8.
I think that's all other modes like SSTV
Okay.
and if maybe you're doing like Hell or something, you know.
Okay, maybe does it do ALE?
Well, if you actually, so when you open up the radio, it actually opens up in a separate screen FL-RIG. Or
Yes.
FL-DIGI, my bad.
FL-DIGI, yeah.
So you can do anything that's in FL-DIGI.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so there's Josh in the chat. Thanks for joining today, Josh. He says, a strong wait and see from everyone looking to get this unit until Ashar gets his sorted out. It's super cool, but needs to be straightened out. Yeah,
I think it's important. Yeah.
Yeah. So
this is designed by one guy, well, more than one guy, but this is a very small project. This isn't like the engineers at ICOM coming together to make a new radio.
No.
Yeah.
And it's not priced like an ICOM either.
No.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's the truth. So if you want an ICOM, go buy an ICOM. But I told Josh he should have labeled his G106 live stream. I was like, well, it's no ICOM. But, that's what I would have done. And I get in trouble sometimes for doing that. I'm not in trouble, but, It is what it is.
If the finals are an issue, what do you recommend on how you run it?
So to finish that story, I was receiving a signal. I was receiving like the screen right here. There's a scrolling text right here. You can't really see it right. I mean, it's small. It was receiving FT8 QSOs. So like when you fire up WSJTX and you go to FT8 and you see the left-hand side of the screen scrolling through everything, everybody calling CQ, everybody working, everybody. It was all of that information was over here and it was receiving that. So I'm like, okay. So I start typing in the screen here because it's all touch screen. And I hit enter, and apparently that keyed up the radio. It was trying to send my call sign out. And it was on 5 watts at the time. And I'm on a 40-meter off-center fed dipole that's actually cut kind of long, so it's resonant on the lower ends of the band for like CW and FT8 down where those frequencies are. And it keyed up for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds, and then it powered down. You know, like it had some sort of really, like it was, I don't know, bad power supply, bad
it drew too much power.
Drew too much power, something like
stopped.
that. That's how it did it. And then it rebooted and it came back up, and I'm like, okay, well, it seems to be okay, but I haven't been able to get it to receive a signal since then. And then I started smelling a little bit of smoke smell. Crap, what does that mean?
You let the smoke out.
I talked to Pat. Well, but I didn't, because I didn't really touch any wires together. So I talked to Pat, and he's like, oh, hey, look in your bag and see if you have finals. So they send you a second set of finals with the freaking thing. What does that tell you? I've got 2 new finals for it.
That's what Josh says. It should be noted these finals are easily acquired and replaced.
Good, yeah. Okay, so they sent me 2 finals.
Yep.
It was in the bag with the power cable. Now I already had one of these power cables, so I didn't use that. But that's what it was. It was according to Pat, he's like, oh yeah, you blew your finals. It's a known issue. I'm like, okay, cool. But they sent me these, and I'm like, oh, so hey, that's a video. I'm going to make a video. It's not going to be a live stream because I don't want you guys to see how badly I suck at soldering. But I'm going to make a video about
how bad you are.
replacing these. Yeah, but nobody believes you, Frank. So I'm okay with that. So no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so these finals came with the radio. So I'm going to replace the finals in it, and you guys will see that on the channel upcoming. Now, Josh, let me know. Did you? There we go. Smell smoke. Izzo must be nearby. I agree with that. Except your smoke smells a hell of a lot better than burn electrical smoke, buddy. I just got to, yeah. I wish it smelled like cigars in here. I really do. But
you said we couldn't smoke in there that much anymore.
Yeah, not that much. So, Josh, my finals. Did you get a little plastic bag like this with the power cable, with the end power cable in it? The finals were in the same bag. And according to what Pat told me, the earlier versions of the radio were not sitting with that. I have serial number 103, so I don't know what serial number.
That's why I just read on Facebook. So take that with a grain of salt.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, but yeah, did you get new finals for yours or not? I know that. I think that's what that live stream that you were. Feel free to. In fact, Josh, you have admin rights to my channel. Feel free to post your live stream of the build because I talked about it a minute ago. If you want to post, people can go watch the build and see what the kit looks like that doesn't come with the screen and the Pi and the microphone and all that stuff. But feel free. Where are you going, dude?
I'm moving the camera so you can show you the radio when it's actually working. But yeah, I don't want to.
Oh, you've got the radio. Okay, you've got the radio there with you.
Yeah, I got it here.
Okay. Right,
I just have to move the camera. Okay. I don't want to make people motion sick or something.
No, that's fine.
It's
fine. It's fine.
All right, so let's see.
I found the stream and posted in the chat already.
Okay, good. Yeah, so that's Josh's stream?
Yep.
Okay, that's team replay for Josh's stream on him building that. Yeah, you're going to have to adjust that. That's a bright-ass screen for...
That looks super crisp. I am impressed with that screen.
If you're looking at it right here in front of it, it looks fantastic. Okay, the camera does not do it justice. The screen actually looks very good. So I was impressed with that. So I got to replace the finals of mine. But you know what? Hey, ham rate and again, they make it clear on the website that this is a developer's edition and it's not a production model yet. Okay, fine, no problem. If that's not your cup of tea, don't go buy it. And you know, if you want a very solid performance, you just want to go out and do poda or go out and do HF, go buy something that's tried and true. You know, get a 7300, get an FTDX10. Nothing wrong with any of that. But, you know, experimentation is part of ham radio, in my opinion. And the fact that I blew my finals, I don't like it. I wish I could key it up right now. I wish I could show you guys how to work it and everything. Maybe Pat will show us here in a minute. But I am very much looking forward to making a video about replacing the finals in this radio because that's what ham radio is about. So, yeah. Yeah, can you turn that brightness down a bit?
I'm trying to find the setting for it, but...
Or can you adjust your camera?
Let's see.
That's what I did. I didn't mess with the...
That's a good idea.
Is this
If you're using
this is a
OBX.
little better, right?
That's a little better. Yeah, the waterfall
Yeah.
is really washed out, but the rest of
Yeah,
it's
I
okay.
could turn that down actually. The IF. It's a little better.
That's okay. It's kind of out
Yeah.
of focus on my end, but
I'm very impressed with the audio though. I don't know.
really okay.
Yeah, let's see if
Yeah.
I can get the audio going here. That's just a carrier. There's someone tuning. Let's see if you guys can hear that.
Yeah, I hear it. Yep.
Yeah. The audio is very, very crisp and clear.
That's great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I wish I could show this in better detail because the camera's just not doing it justice right now.
If you Josh is correct, and that's how I did mine. If you go into the is that a webcam?
Yeah, it's a webcam.
Yeah, go into the settings and find the exposure menu and drop the exposure.
Oh boy.
That's what I did on mine. That's how mine looks like this.
If
right
you're using
here.
OBS, it's inside the settings for that
I'm not
camera.
using OBS. Yeah.
Oh,
I just have
well,
this
yeah.
going straight
yeah.
on the Zoom. Yeah. Yeah.
Don wants to know, how is the noise reduction? Does it have an automatic noise filter? And
I was about to read that, but I did not know what NR is and NA.
I
auto
don't
noise filter.
think it does.
I don't think it does. No, it's not
No.
on the screen here, so I haven't dug real deep into the menu. But yeah, it's my deepest Don's locks. My deepest sympathies for your finals. Cheers to you, buddy. Cheers to you.
What are you drinking today, Jason?
You know what
is
I'm
that?
drinking? You know what I'm drinking? I'm drinking Old Forester.
Yes. Which
so
one?
I don't know. I don't know where the hell I got that. I go in there and I'm like, you know what? I'm laying off of beer for a week or so, because when I'm in Galveston, I tend to drink more beer because those breweries down there, you can get beer down there that I can't get at home.
But it's so close. Like, you're literally 5-10 minutes away from the brewery.
Well, yeah, but I've got breweries here. I'm 10 minutes from Turning Point, and Turning Point's a fantastic brewery.
Hoppenstein.
But I can't.
Hoppenstein.
Turning Point's much better than Hoppenstein.
Too many.
Yeah,
I disagree.
Yeah, well, that's okay. It's okay to be wrong, Frank. It's not a problem. So, but anyway, yeah, you see the screen turned off. It just does that itself. So
okay, but that's a
Yeah.
timeout. That's
got a
fine.
screen
That's
You
saver.
could change that.
You could probably change that in the OS. I haven't tried to do that. But does it have a CW filter? AI5DD wants to know. I don't think so. It does have, I don't know if you can see that or not. It does have a high and low setting, so you can narrow. It has a narrowing filter, so instead of listening to 3 kilohertz, you can turn it down to 2.5 or 2.7 or something like that. I often turn my sideband down to 2.7 on my Yaesu and my Flex radios. So you can do that. It has AGC right there. So I'm going to go through. I'll go through the menu right here, guys. Okay. So let me turn that off real quick. All right. So these 6, 7, 8 buttons right here are all on this side are all bands. It's 10, 12, 15, 17, 30, 40, 20, and 80. And obviously not in order. So it does not have 60 meters. It does not have 6 meters. It doesn't have 160. It goes 10 to 80, and it skips 60. So that's pretty good. I think that's pretty common, actually. Okay, this is a mode right here. That's where I was. This one right here is mode. So you can go, and I read the modes a minute ago. You can go digital, PSK, RTTY, FT8, upper and lower sideband, CW, CWR, and something called
two-tone.
Two-tone. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to figure that out. It does not have AM. Okay, so you can't do AM with it, or at least not in this vanilla build. So if you want to build if you're a smart C programmer, maybe you can build that in. Okay, then it has the low and high settings right here. So if I click right here, it narrows the filter. You can see this moving right here. Okay, so it narrows it from that side. Nope. You have to click on it, and it narrows it. Okay, so that's the low and the high. So you can basically change your filter to be or your bandwidth received to be less than 3 kilohertz, which is standard for HF single sideband. Okay, so, and you can even make it wider if you want to. It'll go up wider than 3 kilohertz as well. Then there's a mic gain right there. There's a compressor right there. There's watts. I've got mine set at 6 watts right now. Depending on the band, it'll do 40 watts on 80 and 40 meters. And I think it'll do 20 watts on 20 meters and 10 watts on 10 meters. Now, that's the only thing the website says. Have you actually tried to use it on like 30 and 17, Pat? Have you done that?
You mean like 30-meter band?
Right, the 30-meter band. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're using, you got to use either CW or FT8 for 30 meters. But
I don't think I've tried 30.
What about like 12, 15, 17? Any of the work bands?
I might have tried 17.
Okay.
I think another point to bring up is if you do not have an antenna tuner or a resonant antenna, it's recommended you use it with this radio. This radio does not apparently cope well with SWRs greater than 2. So
right.
Luckily I have an end fed and like certain frequencies I know where I sit under 2. 30 meters just sits on like 3 for me for some reason.
Yeah. You pretty much need a 30-meter antenna to get a resonant signal on it, or an external tuner, I guess, would work. But
so like that is something to note with this.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have a built-in tuner or a preamp or an attenuator, so you may even need to use low or high pass filters or a band pass filter if you're experiencing some sort of RF or not enough.
People are asking about APRS in the chat. Liberty Cave says 2 tones. I wonder if this is related to APRS. You know, it's a Raspberry Pi based OS, so you could probably add that, but I don't think by default it comes with it. No.
Yeah.
And APRS. Do they do APRS on HF? I honestly don't know. I've never looked. Most APRS is done on 2 meters. I've seen it done on 440. I've seen it done on 220. You can do APRS on 220.
I'm trying to think if they do it on 10-meter repeaters, but I don't think so.
They might. You know, it's very possible because FM is allowed on 10 meters, so maybe there's something like that, but I don't know. What does the microphone look like? I didn't bring it in.
I was about to read that.
I think I've. Do you have that? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my.
It's a pretty simple mic.
Yeah, it's not.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
pretty generic.
Looks like a TYT mic.
I mean, James has. I've talked to James on this when he's doing his poda activation. Said, "Hey, you sound great." So,
good. Okay.
The microphone works.
I'm pretty sure Josh, since he bought the kit, he didn't get a mic, and I'm pretty sure he plugged just a standard Yaesu mic into it.
I think so.
Yeah, but
you can also use, and it's easier than using the touchscreen. I found is a mouse and keyboard. You can plug one in there.
Right. In fact, the instructions that come with it say that even though you don't, it's not required to use a keyboard because it is touchscreen. They recommend that you plug a keyboard in when you first boot it up.
Yep.
I didn't do that because I'm a rebel. I don't read I don't follow instructions. But it doesn't matter. I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with what I was doing. So,
question: can you install hammers?
You don't need to. It has a built-in logger.
It has a built-in logger, yeah.
Oh.
And you can connect it to QRZ, where it'll automatically you can like just hit a button and it'll upload ADIF files straight to QRZ.
But it's hammers. Hammers is the best logger.
Yeah, well, it's all the same.
I stand correct.
HRCC says it's an Elecraft
mic. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because the Elecraft KX2, which I know Josh has, and the KX3 are 3.5 millimeter plugs that go into the radio. And let me switch that and show you guys right here. This is the microphone jack right here. There's 3.5 millimeter ports on the front of it, and according to the website, where the picture is, the far left one is the microphone jack. I don't know what these other two are used for. Probably one, presumably, is a key and an external speaker. I don't know.
Yeah, headphones, external speaker.
Or headphones, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think one's headphones, one's for a key. But you can actually, if you put it in CW mode, it's kind of cool. You can use the microphone as a key.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so you just click the microphone. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, and I was like, I tried the straight key with the mic. I didn't do very good.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, cool. So, yeah, you see how my stupid webcam. Supposedly OBS came out with the I hate the webcam. I switched away from the webcam, but for some reason the one camera that I use in the back keeps freezing when I use it with my capture card, and I don't know why. I gotta troubleshoot that, I guess. But let's see. Let's do that.
And Don Smoke
So-
Signals RF, he asks, how's the audio quality? The receive is great. It's one of it. Yeah, it's up there with some of the big brand radios for the audio quality coming in. Out, I've had good signal reports coming out, and I've been using low power. Like I've been running almost QRP, and people are saying you sound fine.
Yeah. It doesn't do full power. It only does up to 40 watts on 40 and 80, and 20 watts on 20, 10 watts on 10. But yeah. So okay, Don. There's not much to the back. Okay, so there's only a power plug and the antenna. There's one antenna port and it's a BNC. Okay, so that's the only thing back. And there's a heat sink. There's 3 things on the back of the radio: a power port, a BNC connector, and a heat sink. That's it. That's all that's back there.
And then on the right side, you have an Ethernet port and 4 USBs.
Yeah, so I can show that. I think I can easily show that.
It also has Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi card makes noise.
That's just the standard Pi out.
That's just the standard Pi. Yeah, if I took the top of it off earlier, and this is your Raspberry Pi 4, and you can tell it's a Pi 4 because these 2 ports right here, which I don't know if you can see that in camera or not, but these 2 are blue. Those are USB 3.0 ports. So it does have a Raspberry Pi 4.
Yeah. So you can use the USB 3 and put it to HDMI and put it on a separate monitor if you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm gonna do. Just
here's
the
monitor. Nice. Here's the the HDMI. Well, and if you take the top of the cover off, the HDMI, the micro HDMI ports are right there on the very top. So you could even take the top of the cover off easily because it unscrews, and then plug it in from the top if you really wanted
Standard
to.
screws, not stupid stars.
No, they're Phillips. They're Phillips head screws. Phillips head screws. So this is your BNC right here. That's the heat sink, and then on the other side is the power. And then there's this button up here. That's your power button to power it off and on. I don't like the fact that when I rebooted mine several times, and I don't like the fact that when you power it off, you go into the Pi here. Let's turn it so I can see it a little bit better that way. If I go off, I can go into the Pi. I can go shut down or log out and shut down, and it shuts itself down operating system wise. But the power switch, you can't turn it back on until you flip the power switch off and then back on again.
Interesting.
And so I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense. You just have to remember to turn it off after you shut down the operating system. And then when you power it up, this is what it looks like when you power it up.
Don is asking, is it slightly wider than the 705?
Oh, it's a hell of a lot bigger than the 705. Yeah, this box is...
It's not a boat anchor, but it's decent size.
Do we know how much it weighs?
I would
a couple pounds.
I would guess it weighs less than a 705 because internally in the box there's not much there, but it's bigger than a 705. So
the website doesn't say. I was just trying to search it.
I will measure that later, and let you guys know. I didn't look at that, so I'm sorry I don't know. So, but yeah. So I mean, I can see that it's and I didn't finish going through the menus yet. So mic gain, compressor, watts out. This is TX and RX, so you can set it to receive or you can set it to transmit. I guess if you're wanting to test like power or SWR or something, you can turn it on there. IF audio. Your audio is your volume.
Here's a bell thing for comparison.
Right. Yeah, there you go. So that's the audio all the way up. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. But you click on audio and then this top knob, this top left knob right here controls whatever you've clicked on in the menu. So if I wanted to change modes, I would click on mode there, and then I would turn this knob to change modes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's FT8. If I wanted to do the high and low filter, I'd click on it and then to that. So the audio is controlled that way as well. Okay, and then you've got pitch, which I assume is for CW. It's got a recorder. So I've not used that yet. I was like, hey, that might be kind of cool if you're able to record your QSOs. And then it's got a split. You can turn split off and on. So if you want to run split, you can do that in HF. And then the last button is close, and that just all that does is minimize the app. It's still running on the top bar up there. And just click on it and it comes back up. You can still hear it when you click close. You can still hear the audio coming in from the speaker. And then but you can go do other stuff in the Raspberry Pi if you want to and still monitor whatever frequency you're listening to.
So the website says two-tone is for IMD distortion testing. I don't know what that is, but hey, that's good information. I'm glad you said that. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate
Is that for just the sending and receiving? So if you're sending two tones out, then the receivers can report your signal, so you understand what's
maybe, yeah.
Maybe
like a whisper, but for two tones. I'm not well read up on that.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. So, but it comes up here and it says on the left-hand side right here, you guys probably can't read this, but it says, welcome KC5HWB, your grid is Echo Mike 12, which I set that. And it came up as some Victor uniform call sign, I think.
Yeah. It should be a VU2 ESE or whatever.
Yeah, I think
that's
was
Ashar Farhan.
That's Ashar. I assume that was him. Yeah, and then it had the grid square, his grid square. And it says enter the precise UTC time. So what you do is this very bottom left button right here on the keyboard, on the on-screen keyboard, is backslash command. And you can backslash command, and then it has a command. This is all command line right here. So I backslash command, and I typed call sign space KC5HWB, and I hit enter, and it said, okay, your call sign is set to KC5HWB. And I did the same thing for grid. I typed grid, not grid square, but grid space Echo Mike 12. Enter. Okay, your grid square is set. And then I did the UTC. You type UTC, and you type the date, space, and the time. The date, including the year. And then I rebooted it just to see if it would hold, and it did. And it's been there ever since. I've rebooted like 4 times.
Define reboot. Did you?
I went into the Raspberry
and turn off, or
yes. One time I did unplug and turn off because I took it inside and took the top cover off.
Because I've been kind of sidestepping some questions. Would you recommend this for PODA? So if you have to put the time and date in each time you power it up because you unplug the power.
I did not. I've put that in once and it's been there ever since.
Okay.
And I did power it off. I took it inside. I took the top cover off. I looked around in there to see if there was anything that was obviously burned from my keying it up on 5 watts, and it didn't liking that. And there's nothing in there that looks really fried or anything.
You keyed up CW for 5 watts, burnt it?
No, FT8. Oh, you didn't. I don't think you were here, Frank. So I keyed it up earlier. I was receiving an FT8 signal, and I typed in my call sign and I hit enter, and I didn't realize that would key it up, but it keyed it up for like 3 seconds, and then it powered itself down, and it came back up, and I haven't been able to
I heard parts of that. I didn't know it was FT8. So
yeah, I was on 7.074, so I was tinkering around with the FT8 part of it. Yeah. But Pat says, look in your box and see if there's finals, and that's what these are. So it came with 2 extra finals. So it's like, hey, we kind of know that you're going to blow the finals on this, so here, let us give you a couple extra.
Yeah. As far as bringing this out to PODA, like, it would be pretty tough. Because, you know, first of all, there's the size, and it's not a huge radio, it's not heavy, but it is sizable, so you're not going to put it in a backpack or anything like that. It's definitely going to be probably out of your car. Power consumption is a big one, another one, because I think it's like 1.5 amps on standby or something like that.
Mine's you guys can't see that. Okay, let me turn the camera down a bit. So this is my nifty, great, brand new Astron 50 amp power supply. I've got it set to 14.1 volts right now, obviously. You can adjust that in the back. It's pulling 0.6 amps on standby right now.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. The websites just said, 1.5 on standby. So
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Something. Or...
When I transmitted on, I turned it down to 1 watt and I tried to transmit again after I foobarred it. And on 1 watt, it was pulling 0.8 amps. Now, you turn it up to 40 watts, obviously it's going to do more than that. But yeah, on standby, I've been pretty impressed with it. On standby, it's just barely over half a watt. Yeah. Or half an amp, rather. So,
but for PODA, you'd have to bring like a resonant antenna, which would be really tough in the field, or you have to bring a tuner, and that's just more gear, more equipment. And if you could swing that,
I travel with a tuner though. I got the Rig Stick X, not the Expert, the 220. That's always in my pack.
That's an analyzer, Frank, not a tuner.
No, we're talking about
like
an
talking
LDJ or LDG.
Well, I can tune my antenna to be resonant with it.
Right, correct. That's correct. Yes, that's correct.
That's what I use.
You could do that. But they'd be kind of like stuck on that frequency for a bit.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take it out to PODA because
Why the hell not? I mean, you're
Yeah.
talking, Pat. You're talking like a soda guy. You're talking like, well, it's too heavy and this and this and this, and that's not a bad outlook to have on POTA. But I'm just like, drive up to all the things is POTA for crying out loud.
Yeah, I just
So,
don't have a lot of
you know,
drive up parks near me. That's kind of the
Oh yeah,
kicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. So
That's why I say if you're a drive up park, fine.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Well, what park's not a drive-up park? What park are you going to that's not a drive? Are you going to like a trail or something?
Well, a lot of the ones like the National Mall and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
you know, right by DC.
Okay.
Like the park boundaries end at the street, so you can't.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't really
Okay.
You know,
So you're
park
kind of
and
hiking
actively-
in because you got to take transit and something else to get there.
Well, you could park by it, but you can't
Uh-huh.
Be
you
in
can't
it.
activate the park from your car. Put it
Yeah.
that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
But most parks around, majority of parks is
Yeah.
I park, take my stuff from the car, walk less than 50 feet to a table, and I throw it up all there.
Yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, you could do that, but you may not be that close to a bench. Let's just put it that way.
The question from Rob is,
Mm-hmm.
does blown finals affect the receive?
You know what? It might. It might. Yeah,
you
it
might
might.
in
What-
this, yeah.
Once you put the new finals in and it actually receives a waterfall again, it might receive. It might pull more than 0.6 amps. We'll find out. I mean, because I'm gonna do that and put it out on video. So please watch that video. Let's see. How can you add a tuner to it? Don says. So it's a BNC port on the back. So realistically, I don't
Just
know
put
if
it
you
in
have
line.
those. This is that. What's I forget the name of this stupid thing. This is that matte tuner for the 705, and it's got BNCs on the back.
Yeah.
So I don't know for sure if this would work or not, but you can find tuners with BNCs on them. In fact, the Matte Tuner company makes tuners for many different radios.
I mean, technically, you don't even need BNCs.
No, you don't.
Use a little converter.
You don't.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
use a. You can
Yeah.
you can put a. You can put a. You can get
So-
an LDG and just put an adapter on it. That's true.
Just
But-
use an inline tuner.
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
need to
and-
be radio
That's what I'm saying.
specific.
Right, and the LEGs have a button on the tuner itself, so you can plug everything up, power it up, and on the tuner itself, you don't have to key up the radio. So I assume that the matte tuner, you could probably get this thing to work, but yeah, that would be good. That doesn't weigh as much as it's a hell of a lot lighter than the 7300. It's smaller than a 7300 also, but no, it doesn't weigh nearly as much as a 7300. But it's larger than a 705, and it's probably lighter than a 705 too. It's like a flex radio, Don. You know how the flex radio is in a big box and you pick it up and you're like, wow, that doesn't weigh very much. The size of that box in the 6600, the 64, 6600, size of that box doesn't look. It looks like it weighs a lot more than that, and it doesn't. It's kind of like that. So, all right, $1 million question: how much does the radio cost? Okay, so we went over that in the beginning, but that's okay. A lot of people have joined us since then. So you can buy it as a kit for $299. It's not really a kit because it's just the radio itself that you put together. It does not come with the Pi, the screen, or the microphone. So you have to buy those separately. So it's not really going to cost you $299 in the long run. This pre-assembled one was $499. And I just bought the pre-assembled one because I didn't want to go out and buy a Pi at today's prices or try to hunt for one or anything.
That seems to be a missed
So-
opportunity to have it all in box for you to put it together.
You know, I think so too. I think they should offer, if they're going to offer it for, if they want to offer it fully assembled, then great. But maybe offer it for like $459, $449, $459, something like that, and say, hey, save $50, and we'll just give you all the pieces and you put it together yourself. I think that'd be fun. That'd be a fun kit build, I think. So,
Yeah. And, you know, if you're going to do the kit, I highly recommend go look at Groups.io for
Mhm.
the sBitx and Facebook group and all of that.
Yes.
Because people, you know, let's say you have like a Raspberry Pi 3, there might be a little bit of difference in doing it than the Raspberry Pi 4. So
Yeah.
I know it does, like I said before, and I'll say it again, I know that people have got to work with the 3B2. So if you happen to have one of those laying around,
yeah.
hey, maybe attempt the kit.
So Don's asking about what tuners and some require triggers and whatnot. I've got a solution for you, Don. I've got a solution for you. You want to hear it? Get a buddy hex. Done. Finished, no problem. Resonant. Get a buddy hex, buddy. Of course, you can't do 40 or 80, but still, 20 meters, tear up poda all day long with this radio and a buddy hex.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
But no, that spark plug gear 100-watt antenna that I used at Galveston last week. Of course, they just sell you the transformer, the Unan piece, and then you put as much wire on it you want to. So you could do a 80-meter end-fed half-wave if you wanted to. I just put 40 on mine, so it's resonant on 40, 15, and 20. And it's kind of it's not resonant on 10. It's like, I think it's like 2.1 to 2.2 on 10, something like that. But it's less than 1.5 on 40, 20, and 15. So I was very happy. I used it on 20 meters and worked very well. So, and fed half wave.
Interesting. Just say it fully supports FT8, but you burnt your finals using FT8.
That wasn't. That's not his fault. There's a known issue with the finals, and that's why they sent the extras. I think there was a bad batch or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
John has to bring up the DX commander. Get a DX commander, but don't ask Jason to put it together. LOL. Thanks, John. Appreciate you. Hey, it's probably like 1 a.m. where you are, John. So thanks for being here tonight.
How many years have you had that XD commander? 2, 3?
I don't have an XD commander. I have
DX.
I have a DX commander.
XDDD commander.
You're gonna try to make fun of me, Frank. You need to do it in plain English, man.
Dyslexia.
I know.
D and X is.
I know. I get it. It's all right. But you started with the jab, so I had to jab back.
I will say one cool thing about FT8 before we get completely off that topic is it actually does it right there on the screen.
Right.
So you don't even have to open an instance of WSJTX.
No. It has WSJTX on it though.
It does, yeah.
If we go here and we go here, come on, there you go. Ham radio. Can you guys see that? It's washed out.
No, it's washed out.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
man.
let me fix that real quick. No, that's okay. It's just the screen is so freaking bright. Let's go here and fix that. Bump.
Ooh, beautiful.
Much better.
Yeah, there. Okay, good. So let's do that. And then so that's just standard Raspbian menu there. And then one of the menus here is called Ham Radio. And it's got FLARQ. I don't know what that is. FL Digi, FL Rig, Lin PSK. Okay. Message Aggregator, QS STV, Suite. WSJTX and sBitx, and sBitx is the actual application that runs the radio. So it's got all those programs on it, pre-built, comes with it. I didn't put those on; those were there when I booted up the first time. So it's got all that stuff on it, and several other things: education, smart sim, programming. Oh, it's got a lot of programming stuff on it, Frank.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It does.
Internet. Okay, VNC viewer, dude.
Open up the games.
Oh,
it has built-in VNC. That's
I know you've been talking about Minecraft. You're like, oh, yeah. It has Minecraft. Oh,
it does. It plays Minecraft.
It plays Minecraft.
That's nothing. Where's Doom?
If it has VNC viewer, can it run VNC server? Because I could VNC from the house into the radio and just,
probably
remote.
I'm surprised. I missed
cool.
that. I thought it was the server already.
No, it comes with VNC viewer. It might have server on it too. It wasn't in the menu, but who knows? So,
where's Doom? That is the ultimate game for testing. Not Minecraft.
No, Minecraft. Yeah. So anyway, it's got a lot of ham radio apps on it already, which is cool.
What programming software they have on there?
Programming.
All
right, so
I was muted when you had that.
Blue J Java, Fluid, Genie, Geany. I don't know what that is. Greenfoot Java, Mathematica, MU, Node-RED.
Node-RED.
It has Node-RED.
Kyle, this is
so
for
we're
you.
gonna have to. So Kyle is now required to buy one of these radios because it has Node-RED. I haven't seen Kyle in the chat tonight, but Yeah, you guys. Hey, let's the next time Kyle streams, let's super chat the hell out of him and say go buy one of these radios. So Node Red, Scratch 2, Scratch 3, Sense Hat, and Sonic Pi, Thony Python, and Wolf Ram. Those mean nothing. I know what Node Red is. The rest of those mean nothing to me. So.
Alpha
you know
India
what?
5 Delta Expeditions asks a very good question. This guy might
Does it
be
have
a
Vim?
Linux or a programmer. Vin or Vim?
I'm sure it has. It has VI. I mean, VI's
Yeah.
in the standard. I don't have a keyboard hooked to it right now, so I can't type in that. VI's vanilla. It's in vanilla Raspbian. Does it have Vim? Probably not. Raspbian doesn't have Vim by default, but you can sudo apt-get install Vim.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Speaking, I started to say this earlier. I got distracted. So I am spinning up a new instance on my cloud computing server, which I'm going to tell you guys all about that in another live stream. I tried to do it a couple days ago, and I ran into some issues, so I had to open a support ticket. Not their fault. It was, well, sort of their fault. Not really their fault. Anyway, I'm going to spin up a new instance of a Dream Compute on DreamHost, virtual private server, and I'm going to install a brand new All-Star Hub software there.
Ooh.
So that my All-Star Hub, instead of running on a Pi down here below the desk, it's going to run on an actual data center server. And then we're going to do All-Star QSO Party again. And hopefully it's going to be... So I was talking with Kyle on Discord the other day, and I was like, hey, how do I do this? And he's like, do this. Oh, I don't know how to do this. And we researched it together, and we found out, oh, okay, cool. So I'm waiting on my server build to be completed on my web host, and once it's done, we're going to do a live stream on, hey, let's build an All-Star Hub, and here's how to do it. So that's going to be fun. But it's all done in Linux, because it's a Debian install. So that ought to be, I think that'll be a fun thing to do. So get your All-Star nodes ready, get your All-Star repeaters ready, because we're going to do another All-Star QSO Party upcoming. But yeah, so I don't have a keyboard connected to it, so, but I have launched VI on Raspberry Pis in the past to do, just standard Raspberry Pis. But I don't think it doesn't come with Vim. I always install Vim on all my systems because I like Vim a lot better, obviously. But I don't know what size hard drive this thing has. Pat, do you know? Is it a 4 gig?
Probably.
It's probably a 4 gig, I would assume. But
it'd be easy to look up. Yeah.
Yeah. What have you updated your firmware?
No.
No? Because it said something about the website about frequent releases for firmware. So
Yeah, I think we're on the most current right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so there hadn't been one.
The
come
last
out in the
one was
couple
as
weeks.
of July 31st, so all the radios shipped out with the
Okay.
new one.
Okay.
Because this was actually in development long before they released it, and like they were like basically a whole community of people built these radios and were like experimenting with them with each
Okay.
other. Mostly over like Groups IO, Facebook, that kind of stuff. So
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I was sitting there listening to it, and I'm like, well, because I've had it for like, not quite 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks, and I'm like, because it says on the website it's a developer's edition, it's like frequent releases of firmware. I'm like, cool, so maybe there's a new version out. But if not, that's okay. But that'd be something cool to show in a video, is how to update the firmware on it once it is out.
yeah, I imagine all you need to do is like an internet connection, maybe hit a button, good to go.
Most likely, you're right. Most likely, you're correct. Good. But overall, so final thoughts and recommendations. If you enjoy development and tinkering, and you just like breaking stuff and putting it back together, I think this is a great. I mean, Josh said his sounded really good before he blew his finals. My 5 or 10 minutes with it, the waterfall looked really nice. It pulled in some really good signals. And Pat says that his both sounds and transmits good. So I think that the radio quality is good. It might not quite be there as far as stability yet, but if that's your cup of tea, go out and check it out.
Yep.
And if not, then just wait for the new model to come out. Or, you know, what if you have more money than brains? Go buy an Elecraft, because they're going to be a lot better. I have an Elecraft, so I have more money. I don't have more money than brains. I bought mine used, but still.
So I'm going to ask this question now. Don, Smoke Signals RF asked this earlier.
Okay.
Do you recommend this radio for the field, poda, or is it best used indoors?
I would say indoors because, like Pat was saying earlier before we started the stream,
that's no fair.
You almost need an internet connection for it to work for the timestamp on FT8. Now, if you're not going to do FT8, you don't have to worry about the timestamp, then fine. No problem. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's that rugged of a build. It looks like it's more like a shack type radio to me, but
yeah, and
I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't leave it in a car.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Very true. So I think, you know, Don, I think you can probably do anything you want to with it. It's just a matter of setting expectations. I think it's meant to be a shack radio, but once I get mine up and running, I replace the finals in, I'm going to take mine out to POTA and just do it just because I want to. Just because I want to make a video, say, hey, we're going to take this out to do POTA today. Why not? So, I mean, that's my thought. I think it's meant to be a shack radio, but that doesn't mean it's not backpackable. It's too bulky and big to be it's not very heavy, but it's very bulky to be backpackable. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that and that screen's probably, I don't know if I'd want to stuff that thing into a backpack with that screen. Something would probably puncture it at some point.
I would agree with I don't feel comfortable putting the screen inside a backpack with the screen.
Right.
Maybe if you had one of those hard cased backpacks where you can customize it to fit the radio itself. Mm-hmm. I know where Jason, you know where I'm going, but but other than that, yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think this is a best for a tinker toy on your desk and program and have fun with. I probably won't take this to the field.
I will do it. I will take it to the field simply because I want to make a video with it. But if you're just an average user, or if you're a POTA guru, probably not. Probably. If you just want to do it just to do it, then yeah, do it. But it's probably not going to be something that you're going to grab every time you go POTA and say, "Oh, I've got all these radios sitting on the bench. Which one do I want to grab? Let's grab the sBitx." That's not going to happen. So, but it is cool, kind of cool that it natively does everything.
Yeah.
You don't have to hook anything else up to it. You don't have to have an external logger.
And, I actually had a question for you. So there was a radio you reviewed a few months back. I do not remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it had Windows built in.
Yes.
Did it do much of the same stuff, or?
It did everything. That was the what was that one called? It was called the Expert Electronics Prime.
Yeah.
It's about $7,000 for that freaking thing.
Yeah.
So it was a full, in fact, it wasn't really a radio. It was a full desktop, beefy computer with a radio built into it. So it's a lot like the R-Finder. Now, people say, R-Finder, that's too much. That's too expensive for an HT. Well, it's not an HT. I mean, if you think it's an HT, you haven't paid attention. So an R-Finder is a full, complete Android phone with no bloatware, no proprietary Verizon or T-Mobile software. It's got none of that because it's not locked to a carrier. And then it has a radio built into it as well. So it's both. But primarily it's a smartphone. That's what the Prime is. Primarily it's a computer with a small screen on it. But it'll do I could live stream YouTube from that thing if I wanted to. It's a beefy computer with a good CPU and a lot of RAM. And then it ran Expert Electronics, Expert SDR to do the radio portion. So I liked it. Quite frankly, I probably would never buy one of those because for the price, I could get 2 flex radios and I could put one here and one somewhere else. That's my opinion. But some people really like that. Pascal up in Canada, he's got one of those. He really likes it. And they sound great. It's a fantastic radio. But yeah, it would do. You could run anything that'll run on Windows will run on that radio. So you can run WSJTX, you can run Hammers, you can run Ham Radio Deluxe. I mean, like freaking anything. So
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this
is like
probably is not as full featured.
no, but this is
Yeah.
kind of like a light version of that.
Okay.
But I'm impressed that it's basically the Raspberry Pi version of that, because you can run a lot of stuff on Raspberry Pi these days.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, ham radio stuff can take
Yeah.
almost no.
I wonder if
RAM
you could install the Build-A-Pi script from Cam4ACK on this thing. I wonder if it would foobar it too much. There have to be some sort of like you'd have to do like a snapshot image of what's there now, and then run the Cam4ACK script. And if you foobarred it, just go back to the snapshot.
Don't they give you the image? So if you buy a Pi, they have to give you the image, right, for this?
It didn't come with the radio, but maybe you can download it from their website. I don't know.
Well, if
I
you buy
imagine
their
you can.
kit,
It's open source.
you have to provide the Pi.
Oh
So
yeah.
they have to give you the image for it.
That's
so-
true. Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah,
didn't think
so-
about that. No, this came pre-installed, so I didn't do any of that. But yeah, that's good. It's a good point. Maybe I will try to do a Build-A-Pi. Run Jason's script on it, and if it completely foobars it, just just re-image it or whatever. That'd be fun.
Yep.
That'd be kind of fun to do. So
Yeah, I imagine in the future someone's gonna build like a whole new, a whole new script for this, and it's gonna do all sorts of different things and look all sorts of different ways. So this radio has a really promising future, especially if you can get
so.
into like the hands of the right people
Yeah.
that like really know how to work with C, and
Mhm.
they can build these different whatevers for it. So yeah, I think it's a pretty promising radio for sure. I wouldn't
I
recommend it to like
agree.
brand new people though. Like I don't know if I'd
No.
recommend this to brand new people.
If you're not comfortable with Linux, then I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, or like soldering or you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're like, I'm trying to get you guys here a little bit better there. There we go. That's better. So yeah. If you're, well, I mean, not even, so you said that the kit doesn't.
No, it
require any
doesn't. But
soldering, but,
like if the finals blow and you have to go in there and fix it.
Right. Right,
Or
correct.
if like, hey, I made this addition to the radio so I can do this mode, this band, whatever. This is how you add it to the PCB. Yeah. Because that's probably going to happen at some
Right.
point.
And I'll tell you guys right now, I am not a programmer. I don't do programming. I mean, there's nothing. I'm not dogging
neither.
programming. I just don't. I don't know anything about it. I don't. And I never had any interest in it. When I was in college, they were like, "Hey, do you want to do computer programming?" I'm like, "No, that sounds boring. Writing code every day."
Oh, it's
But,
amazing. It's fun.
No, it's not.
No, it sounds boring.
Jumping out of airplanes is fun, Frank. Writing code's not
wait.
fun.
Are you saying you're going to do it?
I said I would do it, didn't I?
I'm just making sure.
I will do it. I've got it. You know what? That's always been on my bucket list. I've got to do it sometime before. And if I can strap a camera to myself, it's easy to talk myself into it. I'm just gonna put it that way, so.
To note, Tandem. Carlos said I wasn't allowed to strap anything.
But
to
he had
harness
one.
or chest. He
But
had one on his arm.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That'll work for me. That'll work for me.
I'm
So.
just pointing it out.
Yeah. No, I know. Because I asked him about that. I was like, "Can I give Frank my I was going to give you my my Osmo Action camera.
Mhm.
Say, here, put this on your wrist, or I've got a chest harness, or I've got put it on your helmet, whatever." And he's like, "No, man, we can't do that." I was like, "All right, just give me the footage that you record." He's like, "Cool." So I think you gave it to me, but either way.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's yeah, I don't care about that's just me. I just don't care about programming. Again, nothing wrong with it. It's just not my cup of tea. But I do. I like Linux-based stuff and Unix-based stuff, and I like new radios, of course. So I'm just like,
I'm going
why-
to put
why the
you
heck
in there.
not?
You're not a programmer, but you're definitely a IT knowledgeable guy who can
That's a good way to put it.
switch out programs and install
Mm-hmm.
Ubuntu and Linux and do all the other fun stuff. But this doesn't require a programmer. You just jump on the forums and do the things that you want to do. And I'm sure once the programmers get a hold of this radio and do amazing things, they'll be posting code to a common repo or something, and that you could just download and do the get runs, makes. Yay! I hate.
You know
make,
what?
by the way.
TO needs one of these radios.
Oh yeah.
He took that X6100 that wasn't supposed to be hacked, and he hacked it anyway.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I think that was a little bit much for doing all that. We'll see if he wants to do that.
I don't know. I mean, it's this
and let's
seems
give
like
Ham
it's
Radio
right up.
Dude, he was also TO's confidant.
He was in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
mean, those guys seem like this is right up their alley, honestly. So, Vern says, if I can solo jump, you can, Jason. I can't solo jump. I'm not allowed to solo jump.
Not yet.
Well, I mean, you can. Just not recommended.
I guess I can. I was like, hey, here's $200. Take me up on your plane. Vern. He's like, all right, that's cool.
Vern did say earlier the whiskey you had was his if you picked it up from Huntsville, and that is the 1910 he brought.
That might be the one. I don't know.
Amazing.
I was gonna get that. I was gonna bring out that Four Roses whiskey, and I looked at
still good too.
My closet, and I'm like, what is this Old Forester stuff? I don't know where I got it. So, Whiskey 7 Backroads has these really cool whiskey glasses. He gave me this at the Overland Expo last month.
Nice.
So Brent Whiskey 7 W7BR. He's a cool guy. So we're gonna do some stuff together upcoming.
I'm trying to get it where it's not glaring. I might have to just do that. It's still kind of glaring. This is Walking Stick 90 proof single barrel. This is pretty good. I put this right up against Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare, Jason,
Really? Yes.
When I walk into our cigar bar, I just say, give me my regular. They come up with the Eagle and
Rare.
Ice water with no straw. No straw. So this Walking Stick's pretty good. I like it. The other one I started liking is Victor's or Victory. I couldn't find it. I need to ask what it is, and that's another good one. But me and you can go down the whiskey hole for hours. Yeah.
So I have something to say about that. Finn AI, I think that's your name, is a YouTube channel member. So definitely want to answer your question. What Shack in the Box setup would for beginner within about $2,000 ish? So explain to me what you mean by Shack in the Box, because that's kind of a term that's thrown around a bunch. And
if offhanded to me, Shack in a Box is a box that I can just plug a power plug, an antenna, and that's about it. It's all ready to go.
See, Ellicraft calls their stuff a Shack in the Box, and I would disagree with that description. I think when I hear Shack in the Box, what I hear is a HF 6-meter, 2-meter 440 all mode radio. So basically like a 991 or a 7100, or even like the 7300 and 9700 put together, something like that, which is a few bucks. It's more than $2,000. So I would like to know what your definition, and there's no right or wrong definition. I'm not trying to prove you wrong.
How about brand name Shack in a Box? Those are amazing radio sets with speakers.
Well, that's true. Yeah, the Lee family makes a thing called a Shack in the Box, and I don't know if they have a $2,000 version model, but yeah. I mean, if you want to do that, those are really
they definitely
solid.
have a $2,000 model.
Turnkey Go Kit radios.
I thought that they were closer to like $3,000 or $4,000, but I don't remember the prices.
Well, they're
I think like the UHF VHF one's like $2,000.
See, Liberty Cave, I agree with you. Shack in the Box has to have VHF, UHF, and HF. That's what I think. When I think of Shack in the Box, that's exactly what I think of.
Okay. So then the Shack in the Box Lee families are those pretty much to a T. A lot of them do have all those capabilities built in.
A lot of them do.
And they're in a portable hard shell case. So you just plug a power plug into them, and the power supply, everything is there, and they just work out of the box.
Yeah.
So Finn AI, too beginner to really know modes. So he's too much of a beginner to really know the modes. Okay. Want to be able to explore and learn technical experience, but studying for extra. Just don't know what radio to get yet. So if you're studying for extra, I assume you're a general. If you're a general, I would say, okay, forget the Shack in the Box. I mean, okay. So the Yaesu 991A is a good choice. I don't like that radio. I've used one from a friend. I don't like the way it sounds. It's too heavy for what it is. I don't like that radio. That's my opinion, and a lot of people disagree, and that's okay. That's all right. A lot of people use that radio. If KK6 USI was on here, he'd be like, no, it's a good radio. It's good. It's okay. It's all right. My opinion is just my opinion. It's worth, my opinion is worth the exact amount of money that you just paid to hear it. Okay? So, I don't like the 991A, but it is a decent radio for a lot of people. A lot of people use it, and it sounds good. I wish ICOM would come out with an IC7000 2022 edition. Put some better filtering in it. Put a auto tuner in it. Put a what else? Put an auto tuner, better filtering, and maybe a sound card in it, so it could do native sound card into a computer like the 7300 will. And I think it would destroy, because right now the only mobile version of HF radio that's really kind of worth a darn is the Yaesu FT891, because it's small and compact and still 100 watts. But a Shack in the Box, really the only thing in production right now in the Shack in the Box of what you're describing is the 991A and the IC7100. And I think the 7100 is being kind of phased out, I think. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, Kenwood didn't have anything like that. But if you're going to talk old school, the IC7000 is my favorite one. It's HF 6 meter, 2 meter 440 all mode.
I would
It's
give you
small. It's got a color screen. It's got video out if you want to put a bigger monitor on it. It does not have an internal tuner or internal sound card, and and the filtering on it's not good, but you can add filters to it for extra cost. That's my favorite radio for Shack in the Box type stuff. But that's my opinion. And some people may say, "Oh no, the Yaesu FT857 is better." Okay, the 991 is better. Okay, you know, everyone has their own opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying if my opinion is the IC7000. Go ahead, Frank. What were you gonna say?
Recently, you know, ICOMs has risen their prices. I'm starting to heavy look into.
Correct.
I know it's probably not the UHF and VHF sides, but the Yaesu DX 10.
Yes.
That is a cheaper radio now, and
It
has
is.
more features on it.
And it's a better radio than the ICOM. So I would
the ICOM was for the price beautiful. $1,000
Yes.
out of the box. If
Correct.
you had the extra 400, get the Yaesu. It has
Yes.
more features. It has more
Yes.
functionality.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, it's a no-brainer. The Yaesu, hands down.
Yes. Correct. Agreed with that. It's ICOM's gone up in their prices. Yaesu's come down in their prices. The Yaesu FTDX10 is a better radio than the ICOM 7300. And let me explain why. It's simply newer. It's the 7300, great radio. I love my 7300. I'm keeping mine. I'm not going to get rid of it. In fact, I'm going to put it in a go kit.
See, I still want a 7300, but
it's like 7 or 8 years old now.
I know.
So there's nothing wrong with the 7300. And when it was selling for like $9.99 and $10.99, I was like, go get a 7300 and be done with it. But now they're like $14.99, and I'm like, for that much less money, go get FTDX10, because they're better for working pileups at poda. I can tell you that right now. Poda pileups are easier to work with an FTDX10 than a 7300. I know from experience. That's not something I heard. That's something I experienced. So, but there's nothing wrong with either radio. Both radios are great. So I would put the FTDX10, which is like a $1,400 radio, up against the 7610, which is a $3,000 radio. I would like to see a comparison on that. 7610 is a great radio, by the way.
Yeah. Send me $3,300, Frank, and I'll do that for you. How's that?
Right on
Okay,
it.
I'm not gonna
After
do
I
it.
build my shack.
Digital Dreamer, no. 7300 does not do D-Star. Thank the Lord in heaven. But I don't like HF radios that do digital modes. That's one reason I don't like the 991A. I'm like, meh, whatever, blah. But that's me. That's me. Again, that's my opinion. I don't need you guys to agree with me. That's okay. So, wow, it's already 8:25. I didn't realize how late it was.
I did not see Rios had a stream tonight,
Yeah.
so.
Don says, Frank, do yourself a favor and get a 7610. I completely agree with Don.
I do too, but I don't have the money for it. If I had
Frank-
the money for it, my shack would already been built.
Frank, I say this with love. You're a single dude with no wife. And
you
a
don't
good
have an excuse.
and a good job.
Yes.
Shut the hell up. Seriously, shut up.
Things keep
I don't even want
breaking.
no. I don't.
the
Shut
money
up.
keeps
Just
leaving.
shut up. I don't care. I don't care. Things. I'm married, and things break when I'm here. Come on. Shut up. You must save a crap ton of money, Frank. That's all I gotta say. Which is not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It's actually a very
Ham radio
smart.
is
In
one
this
of
day and
my-
age, that's actually a very smart thing. So
Ham radio is one of or three of my expensive hobbies. So
Yeah.
others also take a lot of money.
Does All-Star require specific Linux kernels?
No,
No. I don't think so.
it's built
All-Star
into the
run-
radio.
The All-Star hub, the All-Star nodes and
No,
repeater
yeah.
nodes run on Raspbian.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you're talking about does All-Star require, if you're talking about a radio, it's just a regular old analog radio. So talk about that on the happy hour a little bit.
Don. Buy the bourbon and whiskey and then share with Jason on his patio and play radio.
Hey, did you contact that guy down in Crowley?
I haven't
Okay.
yet, but it's on my list of things to do this week.
Let's
And
make that
that's
happen this
for-
week.
That's for you want to do a happy hour down there, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. I have in fact, if you look on the YouTubers calendar, I have the happy hours planned out for the rest of the year.
The year. Wow.
Well, it's only 3 months. October, November, December. We already did the September one, so.
Oh, I'm going to be out of the country on October's, so it can't be October.
Okay. Well, then do November.
November. When's November?
Should be the
month after October.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Frank's
Mhm.
game night,
Before
which
December?
hardly happens.
Yeah. You haven't done that in a while.
No, I've just been busy. I need to start that again. I know Don N5, our Don N5 SKT's been kicking me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one in November scheduled?
I thought I did. Maybe I
I'm
don't.
not seeing it.
Okay, it's probably going to be the 18th. Yeah, in fact, it will be the 18th because the following weekend is unless I do one on Friday, the Black Friday. I guess I could do one on Black Friday,
Black Friday might be a good day.
25th.
Do
But
you
you're
have
gonna-
one? I'm
we're-
not seeing it on the.
It's not. No, you're right. It's not on November. I was thinking I put them all up for the rest of the year. I know I put up October.
So October is the
let's
rest of the year,
look at it.
Jason.
Yeah, right.
And I don't see one in December either.
December. Oh, the 23rd is a Friday. We could do a Christmas happy hour. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that.
Mm,
Lots of eggnog.
Lots of eggnog. Yeah, we're gonna eggnog that. We're gonna do
Everyone on stream has to drink eggnog.
We're
There's
gonna
there.
eggnog the heck out of the happy hour. That'd be great. So, anyway, okay. So Frank, check on that if you can this
Yes,
week,
sir.
and we'll work out some dates.
mhm.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun. But all right. So once again, 127 people watching right now. I think there were like I don't remember how many there were, but let's turn that on and that off. So the Yazoo giveaway at the end of this month, the sign up list is posted here. I'm going to post that right there.
Ooh, I missed that link.
I will. Yeah, I just posted it. We're going to go. I will be in North Carolina next weekend for the Tapper Digital Communications Conference, which is a fun event. This is the first one they've done since COVID started. They did virtually 2020 and 2021. But, yeah. So there's that right there. And then Dawn's asking if we're going to Belton.
I'm a maybe.
So here's the thing about Belton. Okay, so there is a show. So yes, I'm going to Belton, and I will be there on Friday. Will I be there longer than that? I don't know. Let me show you this. Come on.
While you bring that up, I will be literally landing that week from a work trip to leave to go to Belton, and I don't know if I have a time to put everything together to go down. Unless you have your trailer. If you have your trailer, then it's just swapping clothes out.
Right now, I do not plan to have the trailer. It's still in the shop in Huntsville.
See, I'm leaning towards a no, just because I need time to put the tent together and all that other stuff, and then pack.
So that same weekend, there's an overlanding event in Llano, Texas, which is about an hour and 10 minutes from Belton, south. It's just west of San Antonio. It's called Texas Avid Outdoors. And they always do this the same weekend of the October Belton. So, and I've been wanting to go this for like 2 years. So I'm thinking right now, what I'm thinking is to go to Belton Thursday night, maybe, or maybe early Friday morning, something like that. Spend the whole day Friday at Belton, which Friday is the fun time at Belton anyway, quite frankly. And then and then leave at like Friday evening, late afternoon, evening, something like that. Drive an hour south to Llano, camp out there to Texas Avid Outdoors, and stay there until Saturday night. I've already bought my tickets to Texas Avid Outdoors, so it's going to be an overland show. Some cool stuff down there. I want to do some videos for my new channel. Right, and then at the spring Belton next year, we'll just spend the whole weekend at Belton. So right now, that's my plan right now. If that changes between now and then, I don't know. Be sure to sign up on my email list. I will be sharing all that information on my email list. And we'll
right now, I'm leaning towards a no, just because I won't have time between getting back from the work trip to properly switch out and go ahead and go down. Plus, that leaves me a nice weekend I can relax on instead of trip to triplets I've been doing, which has been amazing.
It's welcome to YouTube, Frank. So Vern, I got to disagree with you, buddy. It's not pronounced Llano. It's Llano, and it's a Spanish word, and LL in Spanish is a Y sound, so it's Llano, as in Llano Estacado. It's actually Llano, Llano. I didn't name the Tejas states, but that's what they are, or the Tejas cities rather, but that's what they are. So, cheers to you, buddy. This is good whiskey, Vern.
And you know why I ducked out of like 9:30 now?
Yeah.
It's very smooth, and it catches up to you fast.
Well, just don't drink it as fast. So, okay, well, we're going to shut this down, guys. Pat and Frank, thanks for being here tonight.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I had fun.
Yeah. So we'll do, and we'll once I replace the finals, maybe we'll do this again.
That'd be fun.
Vern says they'll run you out of town, Jason.
I know. Yeah, Vern. That's like the guy. That's like the guys out in West Texas that say that Pecos is pronounced Pecos. No, it's not. I mean, I understand you're Texan. I'm a Texan. I was born in Dallas. I get it. Okay, but hablo español bendejo. So.
Jeez.
Those of you who speak Spanish, maybe I just got demonetized.
Yeah.
But no, I hear you, Vern. You're not wrong, but they're wrong. How's that? But we'll have fun. So 73 to all. Really cool radio. I look forward to replacing the finals and doing some QSOs with it. We'll do another live stream with it. And Frank, what's going on tomorrow night for Monday Night Ham Radio? You got the link for that?
I had a link for that, but it was queued up, but I overwritten it. There is not the playlist link because it didn't copyright. Copy link Monday Night Ham Radio -- bam. Perfect. Coming up on the Monday Night Ham Radio, we have almost a full list. if I can find
There it
the
is.
Chrome
Let's see it.
window. We're going to be starting off at 5:15, and this is all Texas time, so that's Central time because it's correct time. With Ham Radio Venture Guy is going to kick us off at 5:15. Then it's going to be Jason Ham 2.0 at 5:30. Then Ham Ninja right at the top of the hour at 6. And TO Ham Nuggets Live at 6:30. That is as it stands now, because if you watch our playlist and see what I talk about here and then things happen, everyone joins in right at the last minute, which is no problem. We'll probably grow and make it more awesome. So
Yeah.
that's coming up on Monday Night Ham Radio. Back to you,
Good deal.
Jason.
Good deal. Yep. Thanks a lot. I don't have my video ready yet for tomorrow, so we'll see. We'll see what I do.
I'm used to getting your video at
I know.
11 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, I either post it 3 or 4 days early for my patrons, or I'm very last minute. I have no in between at all. So that's okay. That's all right. So 73 to all. Thanks for joining us tonight. Check the links in the description. I will share the links to the giveaway for this month and also to the sBitx.
What is the giveaway?
It's a Yaesu FT 710.
Ooh.
Plus,
The new Yaesu.
Frank, that's the radio you should look at buying.
710.
It's not out yet, but if we can believe John Crook, he says you're going to be real impressed with it. And if it's even half as good as the FTDX10, it's going to be a fantastic
Hey,
radio.
I would take a demo unit if you want to send it my way. I'll do a perfect review on it. I'll take it to parts.
I'm going to give it away to somebody that is not you. So
Oh, I
I'm
know
just-
that
yeah,
part.
yeah.
I'm talking to them if they want to send a demo unit.
Yeah.
And Jason, can I say something real quick?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
So with Ham Radio Adventure Guy, we did the Ham Radio Campfire earlier, and he's doing
Yes.
a really cool challenge right now for people.
Okay.
If anybody here is a PODA activator, he has a challenge going on to raise awareness for veteran suicides, because this month is Suicide Awareness Month. And his challenge, there's more details on his channel, but basically go activate 22 different parks and get 22 contacts at each park, and he's going to give you a certificate
So is that 22 parks in a specific amount of time?
by end of September. So we're already 11 days in. So you might have to do a couple.
I don't think I'll be able to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's hard
can't-
in Texas.
Yeah.
We talked about
I
that on
know,
my
yeah.
stream.
Yeah.
Because
And James said that, like, if parks are an issue distance-wise, he'd be willing to work with that a little bit. So,
to get 5 parks, I drove over 300 miles.
yeah. So, yeah, he's doing that,
Mhm.
for 22 a day, near and dear to my heart, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, the
How
20
about
the
22 activations.
Yeah. The 20 so a buddy of ours is a member of a, I guess, a society or a club or something they called 22 Kill, and I guess that's like in suicide prevention for veterans, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, hey, that's it's a great program to support. So, yep, for sure. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. Send me a link to that, Pat. Does he have that posted somewhere on his website?
I'll have to ask him. But yeah,
If you can find a link to his promotion or the video he talks about it in, let me know and I'll post it over here on my stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So
Sounds
cool,
good.
guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate everyone tonight. Go check the links in the description below, and we will see you tomorrow night, Monday Night Ham Radio. Everybody, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.